Welcome back to my channel. So I have done some changes. I have normally, let's go back, put my faith in with my planning, and I have done that for quite some time. I'm changing it. I'm changing it for numerous amount of things. I'm changing it for privacy because these are devotion notes. I don't care if you read those, but I don't feel as confident flipping through my planner each week or showing things on YouTube because my faith area has become very, very private. And then also, I want to add different things in my planning in my weekly section. So it's my monthly planning. These are monthly books, standard astrology, cut them down myself. And it's the full year astrology. So I was going to make a pretty rash decision. And before I did that, I was like, Monique, let's take a look at some things. So over here is two different astrologies. I was like, I've got a half year and I got a full year. And I had the full year already cut down. I did for January. I did not do anything to it, so I could use it for whatever. And then I cut down a half year, and I was just going to do my planning in here. I'm not going to say that I'm still not going to do that. I'm very well may, but, and then I kind of set it up like I normally do. I haven't glued anything down. I've mapped it all out, just planning sections. Planning sections meaning like my memories still, my tasks and personal goals, my gratitude would still be in here, and my morning pages, habit tracker, and then it would just be morning pages, food log, brain dump, weekly and dailies every week. That's it. Nothing else. So some part of me was like, wait a minute. I'm very, very used to a lot of different sections in my planner. And so I'm like, that's probably not going to work. So last night I couldn't sleep. I had talked to my friend late at night, and I was like, I sent her all of my ideas, what I was going to do. And then we were brainstorming, whatever. So I couldn't sleep last night. I've been having really bad evening anxiety, which sucks. So this is my soap study section, which is 7 days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's blank. And I'm going to leave it like that. Normally, I have never done that. Never. This is the first time in, 3 years that I've always put my soap study. I think I didn't do it for the first 3 books, but I've always had my soap study in my main planner. And it's just becoming, I think I've reached a point in my faith walk where, it's still needed. I still love to do it, but I don't think I need to do it every day. And then plus, I don't want to share it. So I am thinking of, I am separating my faith. So I've got this over here. It may not be in a very expensive book because I don't know how this will work. I'll probably just do it in like a lightweight Midori notebook or some kind of like little small rinky-dinky notebook. But devotion note, soap study, prayer, scripture plan, journaling, scripture writing, marriage, kids, like everything that I would put like that's towards the back would be in its own book. I'm thinking, okay? Not sure. This is why I'm processing out. So there's my prayers. And of course, this is a part of my stuff. First part of the morning, I still will have a faith flow. But I have a lot of different sections. Like my food log works, of course. But my homeschool idea wasn't working like this. Then I've got my brain dump. This is all last week, by the way. That works. Of course, my weeklies and my dailies work. No problem. Can't flip through. So that's all last week. That's the first, second. And even sometimes my dailies have some personal information on there, and I'm like, so I do know that my faith, I do want to try and separate. But before I do, I want to try this out that I've done. So I have always accommodated in a book my sections. So you'll see I don't go ahead. I'm in this second week. Week 3 is at the top. I don't go ahead. And I do that for a reason, because who knows, which is very highly unlikely, but I'll have a week like this where I'm like, I'm going to change all the sections up in the beginning where my faith is. So I did that. I've got my habit tracker. I will keep my morning page, but right here I have where it was my devotion notes, because my devotion notes were 2 pages. I've got a workout log, because I was logging my workouts on the daily page, and I was putting it towards the back. I think this was the first day I did it. Literally did 16 minutes on the treadmill. And that's not enough for me, of course. I need to do more. And plus, putting it on my daily page down here, it's not forcing me to look at it a lot. It's just like, oh, okay, log it. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'm not doing it. And then here you go. My exercise log is just completely non-existent. Other than for that day, I didn't log it in. So I was like, okay, if you're logging it over here, where I'm always in my tracker, and you're logging it over at the back, why don't you just have a section where you're forced to look at first thing in the morning, and it's like, okay, if you did the treadmill, how long, how many laps, because it'll tell me how many laps, and then like how many calories did you burn, and like how you felt. So I'm going to try that this week. I would totally tell you if I fail or if I do well. Next is self-care. So that's this is the devotion note pages. So I have literally the space to do it, because I have now took away devotion notes, soap study, and prayers. And those are a lot of pages. So now I have a lot of space. So self-care habits, I thought to focus on, I don't know if I want to do self-care tracking, because I thought to put a tracker here. And I can do that by cutting out one of these and pasting it there. I may, because these are some, these are some ideas, or I might do a sleep tracker right here. So like do the sleep, then how I know I would wake up. So this is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I normally get about 7 or 8 hours. I want to know if I'm going under that, like 4, 3 hours, 2 hours, like, you know what I mean? So I may very well do a a sleep tracker right here, but I don't know. Then I've got where my soap study is, I've got lists. So y'all know, so I have a Hubs, I have a me, I have my kids, I have YouTube projects, and then the last page goes into homeschool, because I'm going to use my prayer section to do homeschool differently. So like this section would be very useful, because I already track like all of our stuff that we got going on. I will track if we need to buy anything, if we need to do anything. I will track stuff on my brain dump, but it's never a section for my individual family members and myself. And then plus, I've had this in my rings before, where I've put like different pages, and it would always be for whoever, but it always lost track of it. So I know my husband needs some white t-shirts. I need to get him 2 more gifts. I know he has an event. So everything for my husband, even though if he tells me like, babe, I got school, babe, I got this, babe, I got that, I know it would be on my weekly, but because I flowed through these every morning, it would make me call attention to, and even if I just need to put a Post-it down and deal with it later, I can. So I was just going through, I know I spelled collagen wrong, but sleep track, and then same thing for me, sleep tracker in my planner. Do I want to do that? Anything that I want to call attention to for myself, anything I want to buy, anything I want to remember, anything I want for me. And it's important that I tell myself, do not put your home tasks under you, Monique. Clearly we know you have to do it. But this is more like if I want to buy some leggings, or if I want to, I don't know, just clean out my drawers, or something that's going to call attention to me and my things. Same thing for my kids. My son needs some stuff. I need to do some things for my daughter. YouTube, I can do my ideas. People tell me throughout, why don't you do a video on this? Why don't you do a video on that? And I never keep track of it. I'm sorry if you've left it on my YouTube and I've have not put it there. I know some lady was asking about how I did, now I'm going to start coughing, come on, a pen loop. And I think she's talking about, well, I use these, first of all, like binder clips, but I think she's talking about, is it not on here? I don't know where the heck it is. Wait, it's over here. Give it to me. This type of pen loop. I made this years ago, but it's very easy. So I can put right here, okay, make a pen loop tutorial. And then like any house projects or planner projects that I do. So like I just did this one that you guys saw. I could expound upon that by putting like over here in my weekly, I track if I do a planner project because I want to know what I'm doing. Well, this will be perfect to tell me, well, what did you do? What did you end up doing? I could put it on sticky note. I can just make notes if I want for any upcoming planner projects or house projects, whatever. So now this, I used to have the homeschool ideas and then that's just it, but that was not enough. And I think that's why it was not working because I need structure. I can't just be like, oh yeah, you know, bake some cookies. Well, when, or, you know, what do you need for that? I want to check out Hooked on Phonics. So today when we do, and I did a little bit of space and I thought it was perfect because I used to do my prayers this way, is okay, what you can either put some ideas you're going to do like lesson plan or like, you know, put, oh my gosh, my mind just went, either lesson plan or ideas, like specific ideas. Like I know my daughter is looking forward to homeschooling because she told me last night. So this would be a perfect opportunity for me to write, okay, what are you guys going to do? I have some time, so I will go later on about after this video and go to Pinterest. I'll go look at some of our curriculum. I'll probably go look at Hooked on Phonics for myself to see, maybe set up the account so that way when she wakes up, I already know that what I need to do. So I think this is gonna work way better than how I had it. And that's it. I will go into my food log. I will go into, oh, this is another one. This is where I had homeschool. And this is cool because I've always wanted to find a way to put like money things, budget things, or finance things. So in my ring planner, I have what I spend. And I was doing it in my pocket. I will show this to you guys later. If you're on my Instagram, you know I changed from my pocket to my personal size. So this is a personal size. So I thought to recreate this, but in my main system, because what about if I don't want to use rings anymore? This is not my main planner. This book is my main planner. So if I don't want to use rings anymore, this will solve this. So I just cut out, and this is the tracker. This is not for sale. This is a friend made me this. So I use this on my main tracker over here. So I thought just put the tracker down and all the places you like to shop, write them. So I already track, did you spend money? I track that and I've been tracking that for a while, okay? If I spent money on any of these areas, I'll put it down in that day of the week. So if I went to Michael's on Thursday, I'll put a little check mark, then come down here and put what did you buy at Michael's? Basically, how much did you spend at Michael's? Any automatic debits that are coming out of our account each week, I want to know. We've got a lot. And so I need to know, like this week, what do you have coming out? So I can check those and literally just put the amounts or the thing. I'm not going to get too specific because again, I flip through these pages and I don't want anybody all up in our finance business. So I will put, okay, if Japan's coming out, the storage is coming out, or, you know, if, I don't know what else we have. Netflix is coming out. Just at least write what is coming out. And the whole reason I would do that is like, babe, Netflix is coming out. Remind myself to tell him. And then anything I destash. If I destash for the week, I used to put this on my dailies, but then it would get lost in the sauce, right? So if I know I have a section for it, then I could be like, okay, I sold my Chic Sparrow for $50. I sold my, yellow Giglio for $2.50. So whatever. So this way it'll just tell me. And even if I don't have anything to destash, seeing that word is going to remind me to destash. And then I put it literally on my brain dump. So I feel like these sections are going to flow much better, and it's going to cause, like, I'm not going to do any of my faith stuff. It'll just basically be planning. And if I have back here my commonplace book, if I decide like I want to do some soap studies, some devotion notes, some prayers, I will use this back here, and you guys will not be able to see it because I won't flip through it. I'll just flip through the fronts, which is all my planning. So for right now, I'm going to see if this works this week. If it does, well then in January, I will go through my full year. And that's it. If it doesn't work, then I will separate my faith from my planner and start using the half year astrology in the new year. I will still, for the rest of this month, I won't put my faith in it. I'll just change around the sections and see what works for that week or continue. I'm really thinking it's going to work because I literally but I was up all night thinking like, oh, what can I do? And I was laying in the bed, just there. And I didn't put it in my phone. I actually remembered when I woke up. I actually couldn't wait to wake up so I could change my sections around. So anyhow, that's the beauty of my planning system, which I'm so thankful for, that when I want to change up things, I can, because I've already accounted for the actual pages every week. This is here for, I was watching a video, was it? Or was it my video? I think it was my video. What makes you smile, Monique? Who or what do you need to unfollow? Can you get help, instead of like the whole burnout situation? Have you sat alone to recharge at all? Because you can't pour from an empty cup. And I thought this was pretty fitting. I already have put this down for my devotion note area. And so if I can't find a sleep tracker, like if that one doesn't work that I have, I will go on Etsy and get one. And then I will come over to my money area, and then I would mark that, I bought something on Etsy, and then I would write it there. So y'all, I feel like this is going to work. I will definitely keep you updated. I love an empty book for this reason. It is in a mood term, standard TN, and I don't use it as a TN because I keep my monthly area over here. I just cover it up and I put my monthly in here, and I use my monthly book, and it accommodates really, really well. Somebody had asked how do you feel about the apricot? It catches dirt pretty well. It is definitely, obviously, an undyed. Let me see if you can see that. See how it's like discolored? Looks black. That is what happens. Same thing happens in the back like this. See it? You can see it right there, definitely. So it's definitely getting its wear. Look. I'll be honest, that dirtiness, I don't like. But because I don't really look at this a lot, it's been fine. Some days I'll be like, I want to sit in the cover. And some days I'll be like, I'm taking this out the cover and I'll put this away somewhere, like on the table. But because it's the end of the year, I'm going to try and keep myself in the cover with my month. But yeah. So if you guys have any questions, definitely let me know. Of course, I will definitely try to put this on my Instagram as far as the link, so you can see the different sections that I have done. I feel pretty decent processing it out. I feel pretty excited because I did not want to change out of my main full year books and go to I'd rather have more to work with than have a less of a book and don't have nowhere to put anything, because sometimes I could make another book and it'll be a TN, but sometimes I don't like that. The majority of the time I do not like that. I'm so used to having a folio style with my system, and I've done a TN a few times in the last few years for my main system, and it gets on my nerves. So who knows? I love that things can evolve. And so I wanted to show you. God bless you guys.